Howdy y'all, and welcome to Political Us. I'm Chris. The lesser of two evils is a phrase often uttered around election time. I'll pick candidate A because they're the lesser of two evils. I don't wholeheartedly 100% believe everything about a candidate, so instead, I'll pick the lesser of two evils. That's American politics to many Americans. We've devalued the most important part of our democracy, voting in our fellow citizens, to being the lesser of two evils. It's pretty sad. And I can hear you now, well, it's politics and politicians that make it that way. No, my fellow Americans, it's us, the American citizens, that have it all wrong. We prioritize the topics, not the people. I'll explain. How many of you right now watching wouldn't vote for a Democrat simply because of how you feel about abortion? Be honest with yourself. I didn't give you the name of the candidate, the office they're running for, the state it's in, the color of their skin, their background, their education, their history, or anything else. I simply said they were a Democrat. With no other information, if you're a conservative Christian, because of the topic abortion, you automatically just put them in evil camp. And to be fair, how many Democrats with no other information wouldn't vote for Republican simply because of how you feel about gun control? When it comes to voting for candidates, that's a huge issue for us. I could list off an entire array of political topics, and based off those topics alone, without a single piece of information on the candidate, most of us could fill out our bracket. Think about how wrong that is. We're overlooking the types of people we're electing into offices around the country. And as a result, some are pretty horrible people. Seriously, take a second and write down or make a mental note of the politicians you'd consider horrible people. I'll wait. Okay, got them? Good. Now what do you know of their personal lives? And I don't mean Hillary is a liar because she hid her emails. Rick Scott is a liar in corporations' back pockets. Marsha Blackburn has racist supporters. Or Bernie Sanders is a socialist. Those are all examples of basing their personalities off of politics. What I mean is, are they good-hearted? Would you trust them as your neighbor? Would you trust them to watch your kids for a few minutes? How do they treat their spouse, their kids, and their friends? When talking about our elected officials, who they are as people should matter more than anything else. Why? Because what we believe about topics can be both connected and contradictory. Let's talk one of the major talking points for Christians and conservatives: abortion. Now, this is about to challenge what some of you believe, so buckle in. And by the way, welcome to the channel. You believe the idea of abortion is a simple no-brainer, right? Who's for killing fetuses? See, almost no one. The reality is most Americans, including Democrats, really fall somewhere in the middle, as with most political issues. Gee, I really wish someone would do a video about how moderate voters really are the majority. If only. Now, why should the person matter more than the topics? With abortion, let's break down everything around it. While should we kill fetuses is pretty easy to answer, how does that politician that's dangling the pro-life banner feel about sex education, especially in schools? How do they feel about affordable health care for the mother and the baby? What are their stances around traumatic experiences that result in pregnancy? How about pregnancies that put the mother or child at risk? How about Planned Parenting? Not the organization itself, but services focused on prevention, nutrition, and financial stability. What about the quality of life for both the child and the parents? Government assistance, education, food programs. And what about the adoption process? How do they plan to make that easier and more affordable? Pro-lifers are quick to use adoption as a scapegoat, but most have no idea how complicated the process is for Americans who want to adopt a baby. And while those are all connected to the topic abortion, Let's talk about the contradictory to being pro-life. That politician that is pro-life is typically for the death penalty. They're for sending refugees back to life-threatening situations that may kill them. They're against wearing masks to possibly prevent the spread of a life-threatening disease. And they're against controlling guns, something that kills 30,000 Americans every single year. With all that, we just added 15 additional topics to the simplified candidate question of, tell us your stance on abortion. And each of those 15 questions has a laundry list of questions for them as well. With all of those connections and contradictories, there's almost zero chances you align with a candidate 100%. Heck, there's almost zero chance you 100% align with your spouse, boy or girlfriend, or best friend, and you love them. With a political candidate, you just need to like them for 2 to 6 years. When we dumb down our candidate platform questions to, in 90 seconds, how do you feel about a super complex issue? Well, we end up with dumbed down voters and polarizing candidates. That sounds familiar. With so many additional questions around specific topics, a good politician only needs to focus on a single aspect to be correct. With abortion, Republicans stir their base with the part about killing babies. Democrats focus on a person's right to choose what happens to their own body. And because we take complex issues and dumb them down into super basic ideas, neither is wrong, and we never move forward on an issue. And we allow ourselves to be dumbed down all the time. Vote for anarchy in the streets, or to continue police killings. Vote for COVID's a big lie, or that death is upon us. Vote for small businesses collapsing, or for the rich to get richer. Vote for criminals pillaging your homes, or for more mass shootings. None of these topics is that simple. And as we continue to put the issues over the people, we just get more extreme candidates. My suggestion, prioritize what you value about people first, and the topics second. Look at the candidates, their personal lives, look at that first. The issues absolutely matter, but we're too divided right now for either side to be helpful. Prioritize what characteristics you believe politicians need. Me? I first look for compassion and empathy. I believe politicians have to react to situations they can't control and represent everyone under their district. There will be times something directly impacts me or my communities, just like there will be times other communities will be impacted. Those in charge first need to have compassion for our problems, empathy for those impacted, and then a solution to address what has happened. I look for both direction and strategy. Where are we going and how do we get there? A broad, strong slogan like "Make America Great Again" can get anyone to vote for you. But when a candidate is asked how to accomplish that and has no actual answer, to me, that's a salesman, not a politician. I look for inclusion and openness. Does the candidate value other opinions or simply shut them down? And that doesn't mean they agree with a differing opinion. In today's world, that may simply mean they don't delete comments that disagree with them. More recently, I look for someone who, in the past, has changed their opinion. I remember the first presidential election I voted in, John Kerry and George Bush. John Kerry's number one negative trait was he flip-flopped too much. Now, I understand we need people whose minds can be changed. Most of these men and women have been at this for a few decades. Why shouldn't their opinions have changed? As they gain more information and understanding, the people at the top should be flexible. I've changed in the past few years. Why shouldn't they have changed? I don't believe fear-mongering is a helpful tactic. To me, I'm immediately put off by fear tactics because I believe that shows weakness in a candidate's platform. It's the lowest common denominator to get people to vote for you. Make them afraid of what they don't know or understand. And I look to the experts to verify how truthful a candidate is. I can't know if I'm always being lied to. I can believe that something is the truth, but I don't always know that. Today, there are plenty of bipartisan websites that can fact check a candidate for me. I trust them to help determine who's really telling the truth. Politicians are going to lie. That's what happens when your job is to try and make everyone happy. But what do they lie about? Do they inexplicitly lie about everything, including what they've been recorded saying? Or do they break a promise like everyone being able to keep their health care or building some stupid wall? The scale and scope of those lies matter. A politician who falls short on promises is a politician. They're not going to achieve all their promises. Remember, they're not kings, queens, delegates, magicians. However, a politician who just flat out lies is a liar and can't be trusted. Neither presidents, governors, senators, nor any other politicians are kings, saviors, or godlike entities. None have overwhelming power. They'll always fall short on their promises. They'll always fall short on the topics. Where we fall short is not recognizing that we're the ones putting them in office. We're just as guilty in this divided landscape as they are. We've elected people because of topics, when we should have been electing them because they're the best our community has to offer, not the lesser of two evils. As Americans, we can't whine about politicians not working together if we don't vote in politicians that want to work together. We can't expect the swamp to be drained if we keep re-electing the same people, or for that matter, the same types of politicians. We can't expect politicians to see that black, blue, and all lives matter if we don't vote in politicians that show they care for all Americans. Do the topics matter? Yes, they absolutely do. But we can't agree on which outer space saga is better, which boy band is the most boy bandiest, or what color this dress is. We're a long way off from dissecting the detailed workings of tax laws, societal collateral damage, or international and interpersonal relationships. As you sit down to review your ballot, don't think about it as the lesser of two evils. Think about the type of person you want representing you. And take notice, I didn't say leading you or in charge. I said representing you. Our representatives, they don't lead us like a CEO or a coach. They aren't in charge like a boss
Lead a workshop. Remember birthdays.
or commanding officer. Our elected officials simply don't have that kind of power. Trump, Biden, or any other politician that promises I will accomplish something is flat out lying. No single person can accomplish anything in our government. There are checks and balances along the way. And if you're a person who values strength, or you believe that your candidate should have that much power, remember that the other candidate may win, and would you want them to have that much power? Look inside yourself first and understand who you want representing you when your neighborhood, when it's destroyed by a hurricane or a tornado. Look at who you want representing you when it's your health care that's being questioned as you're rushed to the hospital. Look at what type of person you want representing you, your neighbors, and your friends, the people you care about. We can have better politicians if we elect better human beings. All we have to do is make politics more about us. Hey, before you go, please do me a giant favor and share this video. You can of course like it or leave a comment as well, but more importantly, I ask that you simply press the share button. I recently found out I'm being laid off from my normal job, thanks to COVID and our government's inability to take the situation seriously. I've got a passion for diving into our political landscape and trying to make sense of it all, or as the motto goes, to make it more about us. To do that, I need your help at sharing these videos with others. If we can get the word out, maybe others can help make our political landscape more tolerable. And make sure to subscribe to the channel to let me know you like what I'm doing here. More videos are coming soon. Thanks for watching.